Hi, this is Keegan and welcome back to the channel. I moved to Phoenix about 18 months ago and have learned a ton since living in Arizona. I moved from the Midwest, from Cincinnati, Ohio, so it's been crazy different. I'm making this video to show you guys what I've learned so far in the last 18 months, a full pros and cons list of what it's like to live in Phoenix, Arizona, so you can get a better understanding of whether or not moving to Phoenix is a good idea for you. Let's start with the not so good stuff, the cons. Obviously, the number one con of living in Phoenix, Arizona is going to be the heat. This is going to be no surprise to anyone. Less about the heat and more about my personal experience with the summer heat in Phoenix. To me, the worst part is when you just want it to cool off, but it seems to linger about 2 to 4 weeks longer than, you expected it to. And, you get to around Halloween and, the middle of October, and it's still, 100, 105, 110 degrees, and you're just waiting for a break. So it's not necessarily the hot months for me that are super bad. It's more the longevity of the heat from, September into October that really got me this past summer. The second con that I want to talk about is just the layout of the city. So, for example, one of the pros that we're going to talk about is just the affordability of Phoenix. That comes with a price, no pun intended. The way the city's set up, a lot of things are in Scottsdale, a lot of things are in Tempe, a lot of things are downtown Phoenix. So there aren't a ton of options to live in a budget-friendly area and commute to some of those areas without getting hit with the rush hour traffic. On top of that, it's not like a New York where the traffic is really bad and you have the option to take the bus or you have the option to take a train. The public transportation in Phoenix is not the best, so I would say that is another con. If you live in central Phoenix, you surely can hop on a bus, but to some of these outskirt areas, there aren't a ton of public transportation options. The last con that I will go over is sort of just a lack of identity in Phoenix. There's not really 4 seasons here. To me, it's really 2 seasons. It's summer, and then it'd be like fall. Coming from the Midwest are the seasons that I've felt. So from April, May to, September, October-ish, it seems like summer, like where I'm from. And then those winter months are more like fall. The air is crisp, it's cool in the mornings and cool at night. And during the day, it's, a smooth 70 and sunny. Once you move here, you'll realize that there are more people that have migrated here than born and raised here. So there is some lack of identity that I've felt coming from, a place like Ohio where you have the 4 seasons, you have the professional teams. People that live there now are from there and have grown up there, and they kind of have that identity of the location. There aren't big college sports teams here. We do have ASU and GCU, but the fan bases there, they're not religious fans. And it was fun this year to see Arizona State make the college football playoff and be competitive, but I don't sense like a ton of, school spirit and different stuff like that. Okay, the pros that I've realized from moving to Phoenix. Number one is easily, bar none, the weather. So once it turns from the hot summer months and, kind of gets into the October, November area till April, May, it is absolutely beautiful every single day. It's over 300 days of sunshine here in Phoenix. You never get those gray skies and, the seasonal depression that you might get somewhere else like the Midwest or, in the North, where the winters are long and they're harsh and you don't see the sun for about 3 months. I will say on a personal level, it has really changed everything for me. I don't kind of go through that seasonal depression. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. The number one con, yes, is the weather, but the number one pro is also the weather. So when it turns from, the hot summer months and it really cools off, there's really nothing like it. Sitting outside, eating outside, being able to go on walks, and just feeling that cool air in the mornings and in the evenings. There's really nothing like it. Okay, the second pro of moving to Phoenix is going to be the cost of living. I feel like Phoenix gets a bad notion because there are some expensive spots, like, parts of Tempe, specifically Scottsdale, being super expensive. North Peoria is a little expensive, but I will say there is no shortage of housing here. You can find affordable housing. You can find affordable rent options. Apartments aren't that expensive. I have friends, back in the Midwest who are paying the exact same rent I am out here in Phoenix. So yes, there are some expensive areas in Phoenix, but for the most part, you can find affordable housing. For first-time home buyers, this is a great place to be. There are tons of new build options and tons of, first-time home buyer options if you don't mind looking into some of the more affordable areas in Phoenix. I'm actually a realtor here in the area. If you are thinking about moving to Phoenix and you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put my number and my email on the screen. Also, if you are interested in my moving to Phoenix guide, just shoot me a text or send me an email and I will send that right over to you. It'll cover all the different areas in Phoenix of where you might be interested in moving to. So send me a text, shoot me an email, and I'll send that right over to you. Our third pro is just the endless amount of outdoor activities you can do. For me personally, this has been the number one pro I've realized from moving to Phoenix in the last 18 months is just being able to be outside and that there's an endless amount of things that you can do outside. In Phoenix specifically, there is amazing hiking. Right outside your neighborhood, 15-minute drive, 30-minute drive. You'll never run out of hikes to do in Phoenix. We have Lake Pleasant just northwest of the city if you want to get on the water, or Sedona. Red Rocks and the red sand up there is absolutely beautiful. It's just a 90-minute drive. And then you can go up and be in the Pines and Flagstaff at elevation. Everybody knows about the Phoenix golf scene. There is endless amounts of golf to be played in Phoenix. Some of the best golf in the world. And I've absolutely loved being here just because of opportunities and options of things you can do outside with your family. The other thing is, if you want to get away, from the heat in the summer, like I said, there's Lake Pleasant, but then there's also a ton of beaches nearby. You have Rocky Point just south of us. You have San Diego and LA west of us. So there are endless options to escape the heat if that's what you want to do. Another pro of living in Phoenix for the last 18 months has been the food scene. Specifically, the Mexican food is awesome. There is endless options of Mexican food. And then for me and my wife, something we love to do is, Saturday morning cafe or coffee shops. I've really felt like there are a ton of small mom and pop, coffee shops to where you can go in, try new things, test a new part of the city, and go get coffee on say a Saturday morning or something like that. Another pro that may not seem like a big deal, but for me has been very clearly one of the biggest pros of moving to Phoenix has been the airport. This may sound silly, but as somebody who flies back frequently to the Midwest in different areas to see family and whatnot, the airport has been unbelievable. You can park your car and pay $9 a day in long-term parking and be at your gate in less than 15 minutes. I very often am catching a flight, don't have to, worry about getting there super early. There are, I think, 4 different gates to where you can do security. They get you in and out. I don't think I've ever waited longer than 5 minutes for security at the Phoenix airport. And then just the sheer size of Phoenix airport being so big, it's going to fly pretty much anywhere you want in the world. And they have so many flights going out every single day. You can always find an affordable flight. And the experience is just super seamless at the airport and makes for living far away from home seem not that bad because, the experience getting back is always super simple and super easy. I don't dread flying every time I have to do it. The last pro of moving to Phoenix is just going to be the opportunity. Phoenix is such a big place and there's so much opportunity in this city. It's one of the best cities for job opportunities in all of America. In the last 3 years, from 2022 to 2025, employment has gone up almost 5%, with nearly 250,000 jobs created. Full-time job seekers in Phoenix can expect about 7% more based on annual salary compared to the rest of the United States, which again just shows, the job market here and the opportunity you can find living in Phoenix. Like I said earlier in the video, I am a realtor here in Phoenix. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to give you more information about our city. Like I said earlier, if you want my free moving to Phoenix guide, just shoot me an email and I'll send that right over.